Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us for our second show of Thursday. Hopefully you all enjoyed the craft along a little bit earlier on with Debbie. And we're here for three fantastic shows today. Tonight, of course, with it being a Thursday, Cartload is back. So we've got a Cartload show coming up for you tonight, 5 o'clock, of course, live at 5. In between times, we are in the Craft House again. Bit of a Craft House takeover this week, of course, because we had Mr. Keith earlier in the week, didn't we? Just about recovered from that, I think. Katie Sue Designs we've had as well, and we've got another guest who I will introduce you to in just a few moments' time. And I know you guys absolutely love the shows we have with our crafty friends. Already shopping, because particularly for our US viewers, it means that you can shop more. Because all of the deals, well, 99% of the deals from our friends, of course, are tariff-free. So you can shop without those pesky tariffs. Wake up call this morning. We, of course, will be previewing as much as we can that's coming up through the day. But if you want the full heads up on everything that is coming up on the shows today, just head to the website. If you shop the day, you'll see all of the deals right there. I'll say a few hellos to you guys in just a few moments' time. But let's say the most important hello to the lady over the other side of the studio, alongside her companion, who, well, you'll just about be able to see his feet. It is from Sanntangle, the lovely Sandra Rushton. How are you, Sandra?
I'm good, thank you. Dobby thinks he's getting a bit of sun with the lights. That's all I can say. And he's positioned himself where he thinks it's going to be best suited.
So he's thinking he's going to get a tan there, does he?
Yeah. It's not going to happen, though, is it?
He might be there a long time. I do love, you'll see him a little bit later on, because he does tend to move around. Oh, you've seen him now, in fact.
There he is, look.
Look at his glasses. What does it say on his hat? Is it?
Madeira.
Ah.
That's where he brought it from.
Yeah. Just for people who are seeing you for the first time, first of all, explain about you and Sanntangle, and also explain about
Explain Dobby. You can't really explain Dobby. Sanntangle is a small family-run business. We actually teach people to draw. That's the main thing about it. But we actually craft with things. That's the whole point. We draw something, then craft with it. So if you think, oh, I've got a lot of toppers and I stick them onto cards, why don't you draw your own? And you think, oh my goodness me, I can't draw. Honestly, with what we've got here today, you can absolutely draw, and not just draw a stick person or a tiny little flower. You can draw absolutely fantastic pieces of art. Why Dobby? Dobby is our hired help. He's actually, he was made for my friend, and she was not in work one particular day, so we sort of made a big joke about bringing agency staff in, and you know, just as a bit of fun. And he's never left. We actually did free him. We gave him socks, and now he's got a bigger wardrobe than anybody, and he's got a bit of a diva complex to match, I think. He's just a little bit of fun, and he comes everywhere with me, so it's just a real nice little character.
I don't know who's got the biggest following, Sandra, whether it's you or Dobby.
It's probably Dobby.
And you touched on something before. I'll say a few hellos and we'll get into the show, but you touched on something there which we talk about quite a lot, is the fact that a lot of people, and we hear it a lot in our comments, of people saying, oh, well, I can't draw, my drawing is useless, you know, I can't even draw a stick man. And that's kind of almost like what you like to hear, isn't it? Because you prove with Sanntangle that actually, if you can pick up a pencil, you can do this, can't you? You
absolutely can, yeah. And I don't want to sort of try and sell you something that I don't believe in. I absolutely do. Yes, I can draw. I was told when I was at school I was not even allowed in the art room because I couldn't draw. They would not let me do GCSE art. Having said that, my dad used to draw quite a bit, and he'd say, don't do anything with your art because you're never going to make any money, you can't earn a living, go and get a proper job. That's what he said, bless him. And so, you know, sometimes when you're told you can't do something, you have to have that little bit of a stubborn streak, and you think, do you know what, I'm sure I can. So teaching, I actually went into school to teach design technology, woodwork, metalwork, plastics, and within part of that you do have to draw, and trying to get the students to sort of put things down as in their art files or in their journals or whatever it is they were designing at the time, you just think, actually, how do we make this easier so they can and their artwork can be, you know, creative enough so you can see what it is they wanted to make. And that's where Sanntangle really was born, as creating small steps and enabling somebody who cannot draw a thing to create things that somebody can look at and go, my goodness me, you drew that?
Yeah.
And that's what we do, and we've been doing it now for quite a while. And it's not just about me, it's about you out there being able to do this from what I've given you, really. It's structure. I give you structure, a bit of support and some instructions. And honestly, it's a bit addictive in a nice way.
And just to say as well, you have a few very big celebrity Sanntanglers, don't you, in the form of Debbie Robinson, to name but one?
She does, absolutely, yes. We do have, I mean, it's all about craft. We're all crafters. And if it means that, you know, you want to have a little bit of time doing something different, or whether you, like I say, you've got your own topper and you want to put a frame around it a bit unique, you can draw your own. And it just makes whatever if you're selling your cards, it makes it that little bit different, that you've got an original artwork on it, because every single one is original. Yeah. I mean, we must say, I'm not going to give you a stencil to draw around and fill in. That's not what it's about, it's the structure. But then it's your artwork, it's unique to you, and you can start asking a higher price for it. So there's lots of sort of gives and takes, and well, mostly gives, to be honest. It's just so much fun to do, and whoever you actually then gift it to or sell it to is going to have the pleasure that you had from creating it, but from looking at it every day.
And again, I will say a few of those in just a second, but a few of you might be admiring the pieces of artwork that we've got here as well. And this, Sandra, I mean, these are actually featured in what we're going to be you know, bringing to our viewers today. And this is what we're talking about. With what you provide, this... I mean, I know people won't believe this if they've seen you on their side, but this is what our viewers are going to be able to do with your help and with your products today, aren't they?
Absolutely, yes. The trade itself, not only do I show you how to draw it, I also show you how to colour it.
Yes.
So you can get that result, because sometimes we find that, yeah, drawing things, great, we can do that, and we're a little bit scared when it comes to putting colour on. So that's one of my masterclass stencils, where it goes from the very, very first putting the stencil and the marks on the page to the final drawing, to colouring it in to get the final piece at the end as well. So everything there. And of course you can then transfer those skills that you've learnt from how to colour that into how to colour the vintage car, and of course the Zeppelin and the balloon that comes with it as well. They're just a couple of things that's in that particular set. So
yeah, I'll take you all through that just now. Actually, that comes in our Best of British bundle, which we'll talk about in just a second. But this is all achievable for you at home. We've got on the socials this morning, Joyous Jan is with us. Hi Jan, hi Trudy. She says good morning. Stephen Ferguson, hello. Patty Redmond joined us from Michigan, and Shelley is also in Michigan. Kathy Green is in Mechanicsburg. She says, good morning, everyone. Ben, after work today, I'm going to the 95th Annual Mechanicsburg Jubilee Day. It's the largest one-day street fair on the East Coast. Oh, Kathy, that sounds amazing. Pick me up another wrench to add to my collection, please. That would be marvellous. Patty says, love Sandra, and everything she does is brilliant.
Thank you, Patty.
Jonelle says it's way too early for me to be up at 4 a.m. in Washington State, yet here you are, you see. Thanks for being with us. Chris Humbug Atkinson says, we love Dobby.
We do. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Laurie in Arizona. Hello, Sister P4, who says, my first tangle illusion drawing is a bit rough, but I am encouraged.
Absolutely, yes. Do you know what? Sometimes you want to just do it on purpose. Do a rough drawing on purpose. Sketch it out, just so you can get the feel of it. Because I think once you're in that mode and in that idea of how they work, you're just going to get better, honestly. Your lines, the more you do it, the better it gets. But please don't throw away or you know, put yourself down for anything that's a little bit rough. Everybody's is going to be different, and you're going to see the progress very, very quickly. So please stick with it.
And a few more quick hellos. Lois in Ohio, Linda's with us in Maryland. Hello, Michelle Harris. Hello also to Stephen Nicole in Andover. Anita Webb has joined us. Pamela Greenidge, loads of you in. Kelly O'Sullivan, hello. And Sister P4 says, wow, those trains and cars are so wonderful. Shall we show you the collection that these are in? Now, what I will say, good news. Tariff-free, so US viewers, fill your boots here. Details coming up on the screen of the British bundle. Bad news, not huge stock quantity. So if you like it, you see it, you get it. And just to show you again with our third-party friends, there's no Club Inspire. However, you'll see here, They always do us fantastic deals on Crafters TV. So this bundle's worth nearly £107, nearly £146. You're getting it today on Crafters TV for a special price of $79.99 or $108.99. This is made up of 4 components, Sandra, isn't it? And I'll show you the first one. So with each of these, you get kind of like your instruction manual, if you like, don't you? And then the stencils to kind of get cracking with.
That's it, yes. And a lot of the stencils, you can see where things are with that one. But a lot of the stencils you look at, you think, how does that even happen?
Yes.
But with these, because they are transport as such, they've got to have a certain proportion and perspective about them. So I've given you that very proportion and perspective, but then it's how you then go in with the extra bits and pieces, because it's not just something, as I say, you're going to draw around and that's it. It's all about you being able to put your own little unique bits and pieces on it. So you're going to have such fun with these. They're really good.
And what you'll find again with Sandra's instructions, they're very detailed, they're very easy to follow, and kind of like before you know it, like the picture sort of arrives before your very eyes. And this is going to allow you to create your hot air balloon. I mean, the Zeppelin is so very cool. I'm getting, might just be me, so I said to you earlier on, the car is very sort of anthill mob.
Yeah,
and the Zeppelin for me is a little bit Dick Dastardly.
Absolutely. They've got that little bit of quirkiness to them, haven't they? And of course you could take the cogs out and that steampunky kind of element and just leave it as a proper vintage car. So you see all the little cogs inside the doorway there. You could take that out if you want and just have it as a full door. Imagine having that as a full wrap and putting your own sort of designs on. You could even, eventually, you could use different papers and paper pieces if you wanted to. There's so many options. It's there for you to draw, but then to craft with, and that's the important thing.
So that's the first sort of book you're going to get within this bundle. The next, we may as well go to this one because we've just shown you. So this is the Steam Train Masterclass, isn't it?
It is, yeah. This is the one. I mean, you can see that. Obviously, you can see the train there, but you've still got to put all those aspects together.
Yes.
And that's where it becomes unique to you. But the difference with this one, of course, is that not only do you get how to draw it, but you also get how to colour it as well.
I see.
So, of course, I mean, I have used the Sanntangle pencils. You can swap those pencils out. It's quite clear to see what colours are which for your own pencils that you already have at home if you want to. So every little step of the way, look how I do it.
I mean, and we'll get to talk, I suppose, naturally as you go along about, you know, best practice when it comes to what we're using and what papers and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
But that is your Steam Train Masterclass, which is included all in this one bundle, don't forget. And then we come on to the Simply Lace. I mean, this is absolutely stunning. And lace is something that you're very, very interested in, isn't it?
It is. I have got a little bit of history with lace.
Yes.
I mean, I originally come from Stoke-on-Trent.
Yep.
And Leek, which is very, very dominant, or it used to be textile, lace kind of place. My auntie used to make lace for a company down there.
Oh, really?
And she used to send us every Christmas. We used to have petticoats with her handmade lace around it. Imagine if I'd have kept those.
Oh, I know.
So I've got quite a thing with that. So this, when you're looking at this, and I do want to show you a bigger piece that I've done, it looks really intricate. This is probably, if you've never done it before, a perfect starting point, this one.
And we'll have a look at some finished samples with Sandra. But let me just say very quickly, 10% of this bundle already gone. And as I say, we've got this preview show now and 2 hours later on. So plenty of times to talk in depth about all of these bundles and plenty of times for you guys to ask questions as well. That is the third of the 4 components you're going to get in here. And this next one, as much as I said to Sandra, like, you know, being a typical boy, I'm like, ooh, cars, trains, ooh, Zeppelins. I was also drawn to this set here, which is the Views from a Country House. And again, you sort of took inspiration, Sandra, from a particular place not too far from here, didn't you? I
certainly did, yes. I did a retreat, a sewing retreat. I actually attended. I didn't teach it. I attended it.
Oh, OK.
And it was a lovely place called Higham Hall in the Lake District. So these images are actually in my sketchbook, and they're original images I drew whilst I was there at Higham Hall. So you've got the view from the main house, you've got those lovely steps, you've got a little water feature, you've got a little garden, a little secret gate. What's the other one? There's 5. What's the other one?
There's the...
Oh, yes, the house. That's the house itself. Our actually classroom was just to the left
of
that, down there as well. And the lady that sat opposite me, in a sense that was her room, and she was waving to me from the window, and she got a pink top on.
Yeah.
Hence the colours have got like a bit of a pink essence
no
to
way.
them.
Because it's fair to say that obviously, you know, when you're in these shows, you're obviously demonstrating and you're tangling naturally, but whenever I see you, you're never not doodling.
No,
you're always
no.
like, when I came in today, I thought we got a new receptionist, because as you walk in the door, there's like the desk there, and you were sat at the
I
desk.
just made
weren't
myself
you?
at home, to be fair. Yeah, I sat there, you know, drawing away. But that's what I do. It calms me.
Yeah.
It's my passion. I love it, and I've always got ideas that need to go down.
10% of the stock has already gone here. Have you got some other finished samples
I have got
there?
some samples of that here, of all the different bits and pieces. So here's the balloon. So
Oh,
look at
wow,
this.
look at that.
But you could do different things with it.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, that's incredible.
See, once you've got the shape, whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
But then let's look at the car as well.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so changing the colour really makes a huge difference, doesn't it? And here we go, here's our Zeppelin.
That is
Okay.
brilliant.
And then here's the, look, all it needs in a frame, isn't it? And of course the balloon, you can go really vivid if you want, really bright.
Yeah.
Look at that. It can mean all sorts of things, can't it, really? And you could change it depending on what you want to do with it. But let's have a look at the lace as well. I'll just move those out
absolutely,
the way.
yeah,
Here
why
we go.
not?
So look at this one. Again, you know, drawing with this and making that as a little bit of a, look at this one. I mean, that's, look, how sweet is that? Then this one, you could just keep going, look. This one, this one.
Oh,
Wait for
that's
this.
amazing.
Look at this border.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
You've got the little leafy shapes.
And what, just as you're going through these as well, what sort of pencils and papers do you use when you're creating?
It's a real simple thing to answer that. I've got a 2B pencil.
Right.
2B means it's nice and soft, so that's how you get the shading. I've got my mechanical pencil, that's what I used to draw with, so it's a nice fine line. I've got a permanent fine liner, which is an 03 size.
Right.
And I've got a tortillon, which is a rolled up paper stub. So really, that's the only things that you need, those three things,
Wow, so
in essence.
Yeah.
Then of course you're going to need a pencil rubber, and I, on this particular piece, have used a white chalk pencil as well to give me that white highlights. So when you think that's all of those elements you've seen in those cards,
Yeah.
I've put them together to create one big piece. But there's Higham Hall, look.
Just incredible.
Now this is divine.
That's my favourite, the view from the balcony.
I mean, the
veranda.
sheep in the field there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally little wobbly bubbles with legs.
Yeah.
There, look, there's that wonderful sort of scene there. And this one, I mean, who knows where that's going to lead.
Well,
this
yes.
is hand-drawn. It's all hand-drawn, and there's that little secret garden. And of course, you've got that lovely sort of background in there as well, which comes with it.
Maybe those steps lead to Coffee Pot Lane, which we'll take a look at a little bit later on.
Oh, that's nice.
Hello, loads of people in already today. Hello to Karen, he says, what an interesting craft this is. Good morning from Hampton Roads in Virginia. Hillary says, hello everyone from Hillary and Holly Collie. Oh, I'm very excited. I got a golden ticket. Nice one. I know those were going out in the parcels. Don says, hello everyone. I have today off work so I can join in. And Christine says, good morning. The app is down right now, so I can't work until they fix it. Oh, what a shame. Probably a good thing I've been working my butt off, you say. Mary Shaw joins us. Lynn Kirk says, there's no mistake. We have all our own unique drawings. Just go for it and enjoy the journey. And
Hi, Lynn.
Is she one of your...
She's a tangler, yeah.
It's a great sort of motto to have that, isn't it? Just enjoy it, don't get stressed out. As you said earlier, this should be relaxing, it should be joyful.
Yeah.
There's no mistakes, is there? No mistakes. Producer Johnny's just said, yeah, we'll have to get these just to calm down, because we're always working very hard, aren't we? It can be stressful here sometimes. Ash says hi. Linda says, I'm going to the Reginald F. Lewis Black Art Museum today to celebrate Juneteenth, the day the last slaves were freed after the Civil War ended. Wow, I mean, that will be incredible, Linda. Patty says, I can't wait to get these to play with. And Stephanie Theodore says, these items are jaw-dropping. Don't let that jaw drop for too long, because the stock is dropping. I'll tell you that for nothing. The British bundle, over 10% gone. $79.99, $108.99. And, of course, tariff-free for you too. Another new item for us on Crafters TV today, courtesy of Sanntangle, is the Sanntangle swirls swirls stencil. So again here, you'll see you're making that saving normally $24.99, $33.99. We are at $21.45 for you today, pounds, $29.99 if you are shopping in the US, but of course tariff-free as well. Talk us through what we are going to be getting here, Sandra.
Now, what is this? Just looks like some large swirls, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does.
But it's amazing what you can actually create with them. You can create the fossil shape at the top, very kind of drippy art, but then start mixing it with some flowers and some extra little bits and pieces. Of course, you've got your background stencils to help you there as well. It all works to create something truly unique. You know, if you've got somebody that you want to make a card for, but you don't really kind of want to have something seriously themed, the swirl is going to give you that backdrop that then you can add little bits into it. I mean, imagine putting words around the swirls if you want to. Or you could just use loops. You could just bring in a little bit of the floral if you want. It's just kind of giving you that backdrop. And I think it's nice to say, I know you took a tariff-free course for our American friends. Everything that's here is actually made at our premises. So it's all in the UK. So from the very idea it comes out my head to the sketchbook, to the actual stencils, the artwork is done and scanned, and then we print it ourselves. Everything is done in one place in the UK.
And again, you know, if you've bought before from Sandra, you'll know, I just love how your instruction booklets are so detailed. And it does make it, I genuinely think, you know, the more we chat about this, and for people who are perhaps on the fence, it does make it very achievable for everybody, doesn't it? And that's the point.
It certainly does, and there's nothing technical in there. I mean, I don't even use the word circle, it's a bubble. Unless it's actually drawn. I mean, if you circle it, you're prejudging, you've got to do something perfect. If it's a bubble, it doesn't matter. You've got swirls and loops, and I refer to the actual stencil. If it's relevant, that we number them. So it's use shape number 1 to draw this here, and do shape number 2 to add to it. So there's nothing technical in there at all. Honestly, even down to shading, you use a pencil and a tortillon, and it's not, you've got to do it in this technique or that technique. Everybody's different, and it's straightforward. And
I just think how lovely, if you are, you know, one of our many viewers who loves to colour, whether it be, you know, with your alcohol markers, tri-blends, or whether you like to use our colour blend pencils, aqua blend pencils, how nice to be able to actually create something like this for you then to be able to colour in. Because it's lovely to be able, it's lovely to stamp, it's lovely to die cut, but how now lovely to be able to, you illustrate it and then you colour it in. I mean, what a joyful experience. Absolutely, yes. And a lot of them as well, you can create stories, which we're going to come to Coffee Pot Lane in a bit, but you can create stories around them, or you can draw them and you can put them in a book. We've all got ways to make little books now. You can give them to your, you know, your children or your niece, your nephew, your grandchildren, and say, look, colour these in, and you can have that real sort of connection that you're doing a bit of drawing and they are colouring your artwork in, and it's a wonderful way to connect, I think. It's one of those real nice sort of crafts you can do together. So that is your swirls stencil kit. So you've got your instruction booklet and then, of course, all of your stencils to go with as well. $21.45, $29.99. We've got some samples with Sandra. I have got a few bits and pieces here, yes. So it's amazing what you can do with them if you want to. I mean, this one, if you turn it around, it's almost treble clef, isn't it? It is like a treble clef. So if you wanted to bring a little bit of that in, then you've got that lovely background stencil going on there. And then, of course, this one. Again, you can have them any way, can't you? It really doesn't matter. It's just something a little bit different. And then, of course, one made up into a card here. So you've got sort of things going in and out. I do like that. And you might have seen something similar with the quirky frames, how things come in and out of different parts. I mean, look at that. That's been coloured in with alcohol markers. Wow. And then the nice thing is you can take a white gel pen. You see here, you can add little bits over the top to give it a little bit of texture. So that's really nice. Watercolour pencils would work lovely as well. And there's another one, look, you see you've got that lovely sort of piece going in and out. Incredible. It's got some real depth to it, hasn't it? I mean, they are, look at that. Yeah, now this is where we go off piece a little bit, because once you've had a go, you're going to find that you're going to be doing your own versions. So when we just talked about that treble clef, there it is, look. It kind of looks treble clef, but it's been sort of merged. Again, look, you start creating your own pieces, so they don't have to stay the same as they are in the books. You can do whatever you want to do with them. And I do find that your creativity, look at that, just in monochrome. Yeah, it's so clever. It starts running a little bit wild, and you see where it gets. I mean, look at this one.
got that lovely flower in there that's been created with the shape, and then you've got this coming around and out. So there's so many things that you can actually do with it. Once you've done your own sort of follow the instructions, you're then going to have your own ideas and just go with it. Honestly, there's so much fun to play with these.
Very busy for the swirls already as well. As I say, $21.45 is your price here in the UK, $29.99. 10% of the stock has gone. Morning to Kelly O'Sullivan, says Sandra, these are all stunning. I love the train and the car. Christine Mahoney says, I love Sanntangle. And Love to Create LC says, good morning to Ben, Sandra, Jan, team and everyone. Just a quick one from Louise, who's one of our newer crafters here on Crafters TV. She says, Sandra, what do you recommend to go for as a first timer? She says, I'm not good with a pencil, so if there was one of these to go for, is the one you would pick?
Now, I did say the lace is a real good one to start with. It's real easy, but having said that, what I would do is I'd look at the whole range and I'd pick something you like the look of. They've all start with the stencils going from step one all the way through. And I mean, if you thought, well, steam train is easy, but I don't like steam trains, then you're likely not wanting to sort of carry it on.
Yeah.
But if you like the look of, I know the one we're going to look at in a minute, like the coffee pot lane, then go for that one. There's not one that's particularly harder than the other. It's just a case of you've got to pick that pencil up and have a go. So as I said earlier, pick it up, use them, even if it's just a normal piece of paper, you get out the printer and a pencil, just sketch it out and see how you go with it. But pick something you really like the look of, and you're more likely to stay with it, and the results you're going to love because you've liked it in the first place. So see we're going to demo anyway, aren't we? So it's going to be nice to see a few bits.
Let us know what you do decide to go for, Louise.
Yeah, please.
Carol says good morning to us. Now, this next set you're going to absolutely love. If you love a brew and you love flowers, then this is probably the collection for you. It is the Sanntangle Tea, Coffee and Flowers bundle. Again, should be nearly £70, $95. You've got it today for $59.99 or $82.99. I'll show you the kind of like main event, and there's two little other books that go with this, your Flowers in Bloom and Time for a Brew. But this is Coffee Pot Lane. I was saying to Sandra before the show, I know each and every one of these comes with like a little story, doesn't it?
They do,
but
yes.
When you like look more into it and read more into it, I said to Sandra, you should write like full-on books with these, and then once the books are out, we could like create a movie and all that kind of stuff. Because each of these different houses that you're going to see on Coffee Pot Lane comes with a story, and it kind of stems from the fact that both you and your husband love a brew, but different brews, right?
We do, yes. I am an avid tea drinker, and John is coffee all the way.
Yeah.
So in our house, he's got his coffee machine, I've got my loose leaf tea, and never the two meet. They're not even on the same sort of work surface. Yeah. But it's one of those things. I mean, as an ex-teacher, I can drink tea on the hour every hour. if it's made, it's not a problem. John's calmed down a little bit with how many coffees he's had these days, but he is an avid coffee. So it's just nice to put the two together, I think, and it's just a bit of fun that you've got these lovely stories that you can use or you can create, and it does include customers and friends and names and all sorts of things going on. It's obviously it's also a link to Locket Lane, yes, because there is there's an element in here that talks about the Locket, as a lot of my sort of this kind of range do. So it's really good fun to sort of play with.
Now, Sandra's actually got the stencils that come with this, because we've only got one set, so you will get those included. And we'll show you a little storyboard in just a second with all of the different houses, because there's hotels here, isn't there? There's,
we have cows.
We have cows.
Look at that.
I also love in here, and we'll get right to show it in just a minute. It's the, what was it called, the pub?
The Three Sugar Bowls.
The Three Sugar Bowls. So I just think it's such a brilliant name for a pub. And you'll see that in just a second. But once again, all stepped through for you, nice and easy to follow, and just like so creative, so imaginative. I just think it's incredible. There it is. That's the pub, isn't it? That's
the pub. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Imagine coming down those steps after you'd had a few drinks.
You'd be rolling down them, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the great thing about it. You get these stories and these ideas just by looking at the picture, and you then want to draw them. Yeah. You really do.
So we'll look at that in more detail with Sandra in just a second. But also in this set, you are going to get your Time for a Brew. I mean, again, the images here are absolutely stunning. And it's kind of, I suppose, intertwining florals and that whole love of tea and coffee, right? Absolutely, there is, yes. And of course, something in there that not everybody does with
crafting these days, there's a travel mug in there. So,
Oh,
you know, we
yes,
do have
there it
those
is.
a lot. There it is. So you can mix and match. You can add you've got different sizes, of course, add your little teacups in there. To your teapot, there is a bit of a coffee pot in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just nice to have all those bits. And of course, you could do it just as the teacups, just as the teapot, or bring all those other elements into it as well. It's just a real fun one to do. And of course, there is a little link into Locket Lane there as well, because there's a teapot with little houses and windows.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've just seen that. Number 34A,
There you are. There you
Locket
are.
Lane. And then the final little bundle that you get in here is your beautiful flowers in bloom. I mean, and some of the, well, all of the designs here are absolutely brilliant again, Sandra. A real kind of like plethora of different flowers you can create.
It is, yeah. This one, I would say it's a little bit more botanical than some of the others.
Yeah.
So you start with how to actually, I mean, look at that. An iris. An iris is probably one of the most difficult things to draw in the art world, but it's not, because there it is in 2 pages.
Yeah, I love that. It's really difficult, but
Well,
you can do it in
it's
2
not,
pages.
because you can do it. Look at that. So what I've done with this is I've given you individual flowers, and I've added some extra little bits of patterns and tangles to it. But then I've showed you how you can put them together to create bouquets or different shapes. Even though how to shade them. Because again, with flowers, the shading is the important thing because of getting it to look kind of realistic. And you see it's starting adding extra bits. I mean, those flowers are just lovely. You've got freesias in there. You've
Love
got
that daisy.
the chrysanthemum, you've got daisy, you've got a rose in there. I mean, look, they're just lovely. See how you can start to put them together to create bigger pieces of art. There's your pansy look.
Look, that is beautiful, that pansy, like all like instantly recognisable. Again, you'll get all of your stencils with that. If I just flick to the back cover, you can see once again just some of those sort of finished creations in that set. So everything that I've just shown you is in this bundle. We need to have a look at the samples that Sandra's got. She's got a storyboard for Coffee Pot
the
Lane.
storyboard, yeah. So here we go, Coffee Pot Lane. There's just 2 boards here. So here we've got the tall B&B. Now, the nice thing about this is this little bridge here is kind of reminiscent to a bridge that's in Halloween Hollow.
Okay.
And so they kind of
So they all
link
link.
a little bit. We've got the orange blossom house, because of course when you've got oranges ready to be picked and things, it's nice to have those different flavours in your coffee. The filter house. Now there's a bit of a story about this one. It actually moved. It used to be next to the hotel, but
Right.
it's moved into the woods because it does, again, it has a little bit of a link with Halloween Hollow.
Yeah.
Because the lady who runs this has some quite interesting blends.
Oh, a lady of mystery.
Coffee, yes. So, you know, that's a little, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Of course, we've got Churn Farm.
Yes.
And yes, I do show you how to draw not just the full cow here, but look, the cheeky
get rid of
little
it,
one
Jamie,
at the
there? See,
back
there's cows.
there. There are cows in it, absolutely. So you've got that one, lovely one, that lots of stories in it as well. And of course, you've also got
Oh, wow.
the manor house with the colonel living there.
The colonel.
And this is where the locket fits in, because of course the lady who wears the locket, nobody knows who it is,
No.
has visited there. The 3 sugar bowls, there's the pub.
That's where I'd be. at the
That's
pub.
it. So you can see there.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. And of course you've got the huge hotel. So this is where
Wow.
you can imagine who stays there.
I know.
You've even got like a little bit of coffee on the go there, because you can see the little
That's
bits
brilliant.
going on. And you could just mix and match it. You've even, I mean, do coffee beans really grow on trees?
Wow.
You know,
They do at Coffee Pot
it's a
Lane.
real fun one to do, isn't it? But you know, in the rest of the bundle, this is one that's been done with flowers in bloom. And if you recognise
Amazing.
the shape around the frame around the outside, that's the heptagon that we had with the dragonfly.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to use it just for that. You see, you can mix and match. And I've taken some of the elements of the flowers in bloom and created my own little version, which is what I encourage you to do. But here's a couple of tea. Look, the teapot. I did
That's
a little
cute.
bit tangling around it. There's your little lane with the little windows and things. It's a lovely one to start with this. A lovely little anniversary card, look, with a little bit of tea in there. And then, I mean, you can go this small, look. I mean, it's just lovely, isn't it? It's really sweet with the teapots. Another one with a little teapot and the flowers. And then, of course, back to Coffee Pot Lane with that orange blossom house. So there's all sorts of things you can do with this. It's nice to put them together because you've got the flowers mixed in with the tea and the coffee, and everything kind of works. I think it's a really nice little bundle to sort of play with.
It's a great bundle, and it's $59.99 today for our UK viewers, $82.99 if you're in the US. It is tariff-free. Again, US viewers, plenty of opportunities for you to shop here. Good morning, Kathy Myers. You're in Missouri. Hello, Carol Garwood-Beard, who says, I absolutely love Sanntangle. I have learned so much in drawing as a whole. Because of Sanntangle. Linda Combs says, good morning from Indianapolis. So far, no rain. We had really severe storms yesterday, a lot of huge trees down in the neighbourhoods, and thousands of people in the area are still without power. We're sending our best wishes to all of you in Indianapolis. Mary Beth Dawes in Minnesota. Hello, Mary Beth. Hello also to Laurie Barnett, who says, I think Coffee Pot Lane is adorable. Grab it whilst you can. As I say, very busy. Stocks, not huge ones today. So if you see it, if you like it, jump in and grab it. One thing we're just going to have a quick look at with Sandra is something that Sandra brought you previously, which is proving very, very popular today, the spring and autumn stencil bundle. So this is £42.90, $60.99. So you're saving, what, about £7, $6 off the usual price here. Just remind us of this, Sandra, because as I say, it's been very busy today.
Do you know, this is a lovely one. This is everything that you imagine in spring. So it's got a little bit of sunshine, it's got a little bit of rain and everything in between. So some lovely little samples here. I mean, the first one, look at the wellies. And the nice thing about this is you could put any flowers in there and you could decorate these wellies to suit. You could have a whole family of them in different sizes, couldn't you?
I love that, all like lined up with each other.
Little sort of tag with the names above, all kinds of things. Beautiful. Then you've got a lovely little wreath. And that here, look.
A little mouse peeking out.
Now on the stencil, you can actually, if you want to, you can do a rabbit instead of a mouse because I've given you both ear shapes, so it's nice to do. Of course, you've got these wonderful kind of daffodils. There is instructions in there for how to do the daffodils. It's divine. Oh, wrong way around. So you've got a little potting shed in there, of course, so that's everything that's relevant. I think the proportion as well, you know, getting the perspective is all in there to help you out. And then another version of the wellies. Look, I mean, it's just adorable, isn't it?
Absolutely, so cute.
The umbrella.
I remember this, the umbrella.
So again, I've actually turned it the other way around, so I've got an upside-down umbrella. It's a lovely little garden ornament, but there's nothing stopping you turning it around and having it as an umbrella if you want to. Then you've got your first flowers of the spring season. There it is. And then, of course, you've got your little droplets there. Now, if I find, I have got a daffodil one somewhere, but if I find it, I'll show you later.
Yeah.
It's kind of that day, you know, you bring everything and you're all organised, and then you get in, you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
But it's around somewhere. But yeah, the daffodils are on the front cover there. You can see it's just beautiful. So the instructions inside. Oh, look at this, like I already planned it. Shows you how to do that daffodil from 2 ovals. You work your way round all the way through to creating that wonderful piece of artwork. So it's all there for you. It's all there. So that's spring. So if I quickly do autumn for you, being that, you know, I'm trying to be organised.
No, you're very organised. More organised than some people we know today. I'm saying nothing.
Autumn is all about, of course, it's that sort of time of year when things start to change colour, we start to lose leaves from the trees. But you've got this lovely little pair of mice here in the fields.
They're cute.
So if I show you that one, look at this. There's 2 mice, and you've got your little poppy heads and your little corns, all those kind of flowers and those colours that come in. So I've got another version of it here. If you want, imagine, I mean, it's just lovely. It's a little anniversary, isn't it, or something? But you've also got the truck.
Oh, yes, I forgot about the truck.
It's just divine, isn't it? Now, you can put anything in the back of that. You don't have to have the sunflowers if you want.
I like the idea of using that for, like, Christmas and maybe, like, having a little tree
in the background. Yeah, or driving home or something. That'd be just divine, wouldn't it? And, of course, we've got this lovely sort of pumpkin and all the different leaves that come with it. And then if you look on the front here, look, we've got the acorns as well. So it's just a real nice sort of vibe. And you could mix and match if you wanted to. You could bring things like the umbrella from spring and bring it into here and have all the sorts of different variations going on. I think it'd be great for scrapbooking as well. If you've got photographs of, you know, you're going to picking up pumpkins or collecting your Christmas tree and things like that, you can add little photographs in there and make sort of like really nice scrapbook pages and things. It'd be lovely.
That is just one of the collections that we brought you previously. There are other collections on the website as well. So the Illusions bundle, Simply Shoes and Bags is there too. If there's anything particular, that you want to see in the later show, do let us know. We will show those in that 2-hour craft house from 2 o'clock this afternoon. That is 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Hi to Marlene, who's joined us saying good morning. Never thought I could draw, but I love to doodle, and Sanntangle gave me so much confidence, and I love how Sanntangle has helped me draw. That's from Marlene. Thank you so much. That's a lovely message. Tracy joins us saying good afternoon all, and Crystal Hodges says good morning everyone. We'll read a few more of your comments in just a few moments time, and when we come back we will do some Sanntangling, shall we? Get your deals though if you are shopping right now, because we are very busy. Stock is dwindling. We'll meet you back here in about 4 or 5 minutes time.
Hi, this is Alison Mason, and I'm in my favourite place, my craft room with a view. Why do I love Crafters TV? Many reasons. Lots of inspiration, incredible demos, fabulous products and tools that have certainly helped to improve my crafty skills. It's also great to interact with other crafters on the socials and also with the team. It's like being part of one big family. Keep up the good work. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty program today and receive 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits to joining Club Inspire include special members-only sales, and you can receive discounts or exclusive access to products, and even free gifts. You will receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro that you spend. And the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. See if you can craft your way up to our ultimate Club Inspire tier, Platinum, where you'll enjoy the very best discounts and rewards that we offer. As you keep climbing through the club, you can actually reach Platinum Plus and even Platinum for life. The more points you collect, the more you will be rewarded within our amazing special Club Inspire community. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Tea first, and then from there it'll be meetings, and there could be commercial meetings, there could be creative meetings, I could be supporting one of my team. I also manage a large team, so it could be one-to-ones with those. Every day is different.
Get in early on the morning to work, set up all my cameras, all my TV monitors, make sure all the lights are on. After the last show, we'll need to make sure everything's switched off, ready for the next day. Then I get to go home, just watch some TV, watch some movies or something when I'm making some food, and then go to sleep.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come in to work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed before I get up in the morning.
What I love most about Crafters TV is the community.
Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world.
It also connects you with people from all over the world.
You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family.
I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends.
I met some of my best friends for life from Crafters TV, so thank you very much.
When you're having a tough time, you can switch on Crafters TV and you can go on the live chat, and you know people will be there for you as well.
And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials.
It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion, ideas, and get inspiration from each other.
So what's not to love about Crafters TV? So go make a coffee and pull up a chair. Let's all get crafting. I'll see you all there.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out. We've got about 15 minutes left on this show, so we thought we'd do a little bit of tangling for you. Going back to one of the new collections from today, the Sanntangle British bundle, which is super duper busy. You're making a big saving on this today as well. Should be £107 near enough, or 146 bucks. It is $79.99 with us, or $108.99. Included in this one, you're going to get your masterclass steam train, you're going to get your vintage transport, you're also going to get your views from a country house, and then you're going to get this beautiful simply lace as well. So all of that is included in the bundle, which we will look at in much more detail in the craft house at 2. But we thought, to kind of finish this show off with Sandra, we'd have a look at the simply lace.
Okay, so this is one, there's lots of different elements in here, so I'm going to draw one of them. And what's really nice about this is you can draw one of them and make a lovely little card, or you can draw all of them together to create a bigger piece. It looks brilliant on craft card or different colours, but for the purposes of, I'm going to stick with paper. So I've got myself a little line there. I've not gone too wide there. Don't worry about measurements. I've just given myself something to work to. And I'm going to sort of imagine where the middle is. And then I'm going to bring in number 17, which is these 4 little points here.
Yeah.
How on earth is that going to make lace? I know you're saying that.
Well, I know. I trust you though, Sandra. I trust you.
I know. Trust me. So there we go. I'm literally drawing that on the top there, like so. Okay, so that's on top of my line. So if I take my shape again, I'm going to line it up with where I've just done, line it up with the bottoms because I can see through my stencil, and I'm going to draw the same again. I'm just going to do a couple so you can see how it works. You see, same again. So you could make one huge piece if you wanted to, or you could just do a small element. So I'm going to do one this side as well. There we go. And that's all we need the stencil for this particular thing. So all I've got is those. What I am going to do, actually, I'll just use my little ruler here, is I'm going to put myself a line across the top of those shapes, like that. And see how I've got one here? I'm going to kind of do it so it looks similar there. So that's what I've got to start with. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these top points here, and I'm going to bring it out and around. So I'm going to start at the point, and I'm going to bring it around this shape here. So see, like that. So I'm imagining where I'm going, and then it's going around. I can sketch it in, it's fine, it's only in pencil. That one I'm going to sort of flip as though I'm pretending to, because I don't really worry about that one. Then again, look, I'm coming around, and I'm going to go to the one on the left. Then this one again, look, around to the one on the left. You see, I've left myself a little space there.
Yeah.
That works quite nice, because what I'm going to do then is I'm going to bring it down to this bottom bit here, like so. Same there. Okay, so I've got something to work to. So the next bit, I'm going to come around the shape now, so not from the bottom, I'm going to come around. I'm going to go up to where I've put that line in, so it's helping me. And I'm going to come around here, and it's going to join to the top there. So let's do that again. Around and down, so it's coming to the top. Same again, like round. So it's very sort of muscle memory orientation here, because you've got that kind of thing. It's going the same all the way along. So then I'm going to come from this one here underneath and touch there. So imagine it's sort of there, underneath and touch there, underneath and touch. So then this one around down to there. So I'm creating this kind of shape that's almost sort of wandering down and around. So I've got this bit to deal with now.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up to here, to this one, to this one. I'll kind of put that one in so you can see where I'm heading with it. And I'm going to turn it. Oh, let's do that one. And I'm going to join them together like this. Let's do that one. So, and then of course that one would go off that way, and that one would kind of go off that way. So you see you're getting this like little interconnecting shape going on now. So I'm going to switch to pen for the next few bits. This I would probably draw in pen, but I'm going to leave it for now. And on the top here, I'm going to come in with a loop that's touching that first line that I drew there. So if I do that on each of them, like so, and I'm going to do a smaller loop here, and here. So you see, I'm filling the space in. I'm not too worried if it's not the same size. Anything like that really doesn't matter. And then inside, I'm going to put a little V into each one of them like that. Same there. So I do that all the way along. Okay, let's double up the V. So I've got that kind of a shape going on there. I'll just do that one so you see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to come around it with like a little part bubble. So like a little scalloped edge almost. It's kind of following that shape round. The same along there. Yeah, see where that's leading?
Yeah.
So if I bring this one in, same sort of thing, but I've done the whole lot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. It looks good already, doesn't it? You could just leave it at that if you wanted to. So what we could do, we can add a little bit to this. Of course, at the bottom it looks a little bit, let's do something with it. So I'm going to do another little loop where I've got this one here. So I'll put one in there, look. Another one in there. And in there. And in there. See, you kind of see how it works. And little ones either side. I'll just do these couple so you can see it.
And obviously everything that you're showing us here is, I mean, you're obviously doing it sort of off by heart because you know it back to front and upside down, but this is all step by step for you, isn't it, in the booklet? It
absolutely is, yeah. See here where I've got this little cross mark? I'm just going to put that little bubble in there. Again, you can use the stencil for this. I'll show you the instructions in a minute.
Yeah.
So see where I've just done that little bubble there? Here we go. There it is.
Ah, yes, step 16.
Step 16, yeah. So we've got all those shapes. This is this next little bit. And then if I move over to the next bit, you see where it's starting to give me the details in there then?
Yes.
So what I would do with this one is I've got kind of 3 little dots here. And I'm going to join them to that shape like that.
Yeah.
And then on the bottom here, now I'm going to just put 3 dots there as well. You can add more. 3 little dots. So you see I'm creating that little design.
Yeah.
And then if I turn it that way and put a little curve around it, like so. And I could do the same at the top here. So let's have a look, where am I going to go? From that top piece to that middle, top to middle, top to middle. See, I've done that before, can't you? But doing it this way, vertically, it really helps.
So good.
And again, a range of those sort of scalloped across the edges. So I'd do across there, and then across here. So you can see how that kind of works. So if I bring this one in now.
I love this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's following, and you've seen exactly the shapes. It just takes a little bit longer because I've got a few more in. But let's have a look at shading it. So if I come back to my pencil now. So if I just do a little one here, if I shade where I'm sort of going over and under into those bits and into there, like so. A little bit in here, like so. Tortillon in, and what I'm going to do is come round and gently sort of move my pencil around there. I just want to sort of kind of smooth it off. So where there's a line, you want to kind of blend it almost to nothing. You can see how that then starts to give it a little bit of shade. But I have got one I have shaded because I know time's getting short. So if we look at this one,
that is incredible.
You see where that's shaded, and of course then I've brought a little bit of my crafty bits in. So I've brought the background stencil in from the country house, a few little gems there, and of course what I've also done is I've cut a few little dies here, and then I've sort of put myself a little split in the paper there, because what we can then do, it's always when they're all stuck together, look at that, here we go. If I push that into there, like so, let's push that one into there, let's do a little one there. So the main effect is the bit that you need to sign, isn't it, is the lace, but then having a few little die cuts in there.
Beautiful, yeah.
Bringing your background in and sticking it to there. So if we go back to where we started here with that little twisty bit. We then moved into those extra bits. We then added some curves and a little bit of shading, a little bit of inking around the edge, a little bit of a die cut, and that's literally one of the pieces out of the whole sort of sets that you can do quite quick. I would say that's half an hour to an hour to create the whole thing if you want to take your time.
Incredible, right? If you're seeing it for the first time, hopefully now, like, the proof is in the pudding just a little bit, and you're thinking, oh, okay, now I'm seeing why Sandra and other people in the comments are going, like, this is achievable for everybody, even if I'm one of those people who goes, oh, I can't even draw a stick man. This is the thing, it's all made very achievable, little mini step by mini step, and then you get to like the grand finale, and everything is stepped through for you within the booklets. That's the point. You get the stencils that you need as well. The British bundle is 20% gone. Doesn't officially launch until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Just well done for getting in on that preview. And it's tariff free, of course, too. So don't forget, our US viewers, you can jump in and pay this price here. So it's $108.99. You're saving $37 today, which is a really big discount. If you're here in the UK, what is that you're saving? About 20 bucks, isn't it? No, 20 pounds. 20 pounds. Yeah, about 20 pounds. More than that, 27 pounds. So a really big saving to jump in. 25% saving today. Few quick comments coming in. Jeffrey says, happy Thursday to Ben and Sandra, the outstanding and magnificent Crafters TV crew. Crafty Angie says, hi Ben and Sandra, I ordered the British bundle. Well done. As she says,
fab.
Now I need to go back to sleep. It's 4:49 a.m.
Oh no!
We have so many viewers here, Sandra, who get up at all times of the morning and the night to join us. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi to Don, who says, watching you do this is very calming. And Carol says, I love working with blending tools. It really does bring out a design. Rhonda joins us saying, good morning, everyone. Hello, Rhonda. And Stephanie Theodore says, absolutely stunning. We've got a full 2 hours with you, Sandra, coming up at 2. Yep. Don't forget, if you are going for the British bundle, which we'll look more at in just an hour's time, you will get lots more, not just the Simply Lace, all right? So that is within the British bundle. If you're looking for that, thinking, where's that on the website? Simply Lace is within the British bundle, and it is such a great bundle because you've got the beauty of this stunning lace, you've got the absolutely stunning views from the country house in the Lake District, in the views from the house. And then, I think 2 of my favourites that Sandra's brought to us, actually. You've got the vintage transport, where you're going to be creating that cool hot air balloon, your Zeppelin, and then the car. And, you know, if you love your steampunk particularly, you can steampunk these right up. And then last, but by no means least, you've got the masterclass on that incredible steam train. So the steam train, and of course that amazing vintage car featured just to my left with those, well, amazing pieces of artwork. Very popular is this collection. It's probably the most popular so far, so do jump in and grab it. And we'll look at all these and more in the next hour. The swirl stencil proving very, very popular as well. And Sandra, I guess you'll have kind of set demos ready for that 2 hour show, but you're happy to kind of, if people want to see various things, you're happy to do whatever, I guess.
Please, if you want to see something or if you've got a question, please ask. If I can answer it, I will. If I can't, I'll be honest and I'll tell you I can't, but I'll find out. But absolutely, if you want to see something, you want to see how it's done, I'm more than happy to switch things over and do a little bit of technical detail if you need me to. It's fine.
There you go. And even if, again, you know, you think what is the most simplest question in the world, please ask it, because if it's going to allow you to jump in and buy some of these products and get into the world of Sanntangle, then so much the better. Massive thank you to Sandra. Thanks to Dobby as well. Been very well behaved in this show. We'll see you back here in an hour. Until then, bye for now.